Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about enchanting and everything related to that. I'm going to show you guys how it works. We're going to test a couple of rates. By the way, obviously 6.0 fantastic patch changes enchanting as well. The maximum number of enchants that you can get per item is 15. Doesn't matter if it's a PvP, PvE, weapon, armor, necklace, whatever. All items can be enchanted to 15. As you can see here, I am wearing currently this PvE gear. This is the best PvE gear that you get as drops in dungeons. My necklace is plus 15, my shield is plus 15, sword is has no enchants on it, so we're gonna work on the sword, we're gonna work on my chest piece for example, and just for you guys to see, we're just gonna work on a belt as well, yeah? Obviously, feather can also be PvP feather or PvE feather, bracelet, the same exact thing, can be PvP or PvE, and also can be enchanted, bracelet also plus 15. One very important key thing to note about enchanting is the rates. I'm going to show you the rates on the screen now. They have been highly improved compared to 5.x and compared to whatever part of AION's history so far. So enchanting is not really that difficult as long as you have obviously a little bit of luck, because this is a thing that I very much appreciate. A little bit of RNG is very welcomed. But as you can see, it's a lot better than it used to be before. Just for me to explain you guys this particular picture that you're seeing, I'm going to open up the same picture myself. So let's quickly take a look here. If you want to enchant an ultimate piece of gear, which is the red gear that we're going to be working on, this one right here, then if you use a legendary stone, which is a purple stone, you have from 1 to 3 100% success rate. From starting with 4 up until 6 you have 82% success rate. From 7 to 9 you have 62, and so on and so forth. 42% above 10 if you use a purple stone on a red piece of gear, yeah? The same is if you use a ultimate stone, which is one of these red stones right here, on an ultimate piece of gear, and it goes 10% higher from 10 onwards up until 15, yeah? In terms of legendary gear and ancient gear, we're not really going to talk about it because it's really pointless. Ancient gear is kind of shit if you're at end game and you're still having ancient gear, so no real point to enchant it anyway. This is just I believe some placeholder, because nobody's ever gonna wear ancient gear in any endgame content. Legendary gear is something that you start off with, sure, fine. I guess you can wear purple, so I guess these rates might mean something to you. The same legendary gear with legendary enchantment stones, legendary, which are gonna be the most popular, is 100%, 85%, 65%, 45%. So these are pretty good rates, yeah? Enchanting a legendary with a legendary stone is the same as enchanting an ultimate with a legendary stone. 42%, 45% here, kind of the same thing. So we're gonna take a look in game, guys, and we're gonna see exactly how it works. So let's start with the sword. If you enchant your sword to plus 15 or any other piece to plus 15, you can still re-roll the stats on it, just for you guys to know that as a fact. Let's start using, for example, on the stone, we're going to start using these purple stones, and we're going to see where we get. I'm not going to make a 45-minute video into this, enchanting all my gear using 999 stones, just for you guys to see all the raids. We're just going to pop a couple, then we're going to pop a couple of red ones as well, and we're going to see exactly where we get in terms of the raids. Cool, so we're at plus 3 right now, just using purple stones. We didn't get any chance to proc, as you guys saw in the picture. There is a 10% chance to proc on to plus 2 with each kind of stone at any level, so that's a good thing, I guess. It's only 10%, it's at any level, it doesn't matter which stone you can use any stone, etc. You can see it costs a lot to enchant, 264k kina to enchant and to fail. That's kind of a big deal, yeah, because it's like worth like 2.6 million in normal terms. If you use purple enchantment stones on red gear and they fail, then the level goes back 1. If you use, see, it failed, it was 7, now it's 6. If you use red enchantment gears, red enchantment stone on red gear, then the level doesn't go down, it stays the same. Yeah, just for you guys to know, this is a thing that that's happening. Red stones, red enchantment stones, extremely hard to get. You're not gonna see people with 380 like I have here on this PTS server, because they're gonna be very, very hard to get. I believe, and I'm very worried in terms of enchanting, that obviously enchanting gives you PvE defense and attack, PvP defense and attack, depending on the stones you use. So I'm very worried that these red stones are going to be for some very nice pay to win, very greedy events for Christmas in Europe, for Easter, for whatever they do, those shit-faced events that Gameforge does. Pretty worried about that, but then again, you can make it even with purple stones if you have a little bit of luck. Red ones, they don't get your gear back 1 level, I admit. Okay, so they're pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure that if I kept trying, I could have made it with like 20 of these purple stones to get this red piece to +10. And then after +10, sure, I'm just gonna use 5 red ones that I get once in a lifetime. So my sword is +15 right now. As you can see, what Enchanting gives you in AION 6.0 is no longer stats, so you don't get like magic boost, attack, accuracy, whatever you got previously. You simply get PvE damage and PvP damage, PvE defense and PvP defense. The same is gonna go on this jacket, for example. I'm just gonna show you a couple of enchants just for you guys to see what exactly do you get. No stats, just the defense and attack depending on type of gear you get. Yeah, no basic stats, no basic armor, HP or anything like that, which is a very good thing. I really like this again about 6.0, but then again, what don't I like about 6.0? It's such a great patch, so little pay to win in it that I cannot even tell you how good this actually is. We're not gonna go more on the chest, we're gonna swap to the belt. Yeah, I guess this is something that we can do. We're gonna pop a couple of stones in this one also. Not sure if you guys are interested to see what's the rates with yellow stones. Nobody's really gonna use yellow stones. I mean, you can of course use yellow stones, I don't know, from +0 to +3. I guess you can do that also, but other than that, I don't really see these yellow stones having absolutely any value, unless maybe you want to enchant your purple gear, in which case you could potentially use 15, 20, even 30 of these yellow stones that are going to be cheap as shit, and also you get hundreds of them just by doing quests around the lock room. So I can see, if you want to start off in 6.0 and you have purple gear, fine, use these stones, get it to +10, and you know, then that's about it. In terms of belt, also the exact same thing: PvE damage, PvP damage, PvE defense, PvP defense, depending on what type of item it is. Keep in mind, guys, keep in mind, actually, can we do that? I just wanted to tell you to keep in mind that it is very much more worth it to enchant 1 item to +15 than 4 items to +10. You have to keep that in mind. You can roll back the video and look at when I enchanted my sword. You can see that from +10 to +11, you basically get as much PvE attack and defense, because it's a PvE item, but it goes the same with PvP, as you get from +1 to +4. So you have to keep that in mind. Then from +11 to +12 and from +12 to +13, you get basically as much PvE attack and PvP attack and defense as you get from +1ing to +7ing. So it is much more worth to have 1 item to 15 than to have 4 items just to +10. I know it's harder, but it's worth it in terms of how much more impact you're gonna see your character have in PvE and PvP alike. I'm not sure if I'm gonna... This is actually +11, same. So on +11, I have at the moment I have 32 damage and 9 defense. If I go 1 more, from plus 11 to plus 12, and if I succeed, which I won't, but we're gonna try again because I really want to show you how much more you get now. For example, from 32 to 60, yeah, from 9 extra damage to 18, so it basically almost doubled the damage and the defense that it gave me from enchanting. That's why I'm saying it's much more worth it. Yeah, just a fun fact for you guys to know in the real game. Cool, I guess that's about it, guys. I don't really know if I want to talk anything else about enchanting. Shall I show you how you enchant a purple piece of gear as well? Let's maybe use the yellow stones on a level 80 PvE purple, I don't know what this is, gloves, leather gloves, just for you guys to see how far we can get. We're gonna go with these yellow stones until we fail twice, yeah? This is plus 3. Plus 3 is very easy. You can check the picture for the rates to see what is the success rate. I am very worried that Gameforge, because they have this power, they don't have much power, but they have this particular power to change the enchantment success rate. I believe they do have this power, and I believe that they might mingle with those rates for Europe and then give us a lame excuse of westernizing the game when it's so fun now and so cool now to do things, and it's still pretty hard, as you can clearly see, even if the success rate is what, 70-80% up until plus 5. I still am failing with these yellow stones. Yeah, if I would use purple stones, which I think I'm gonna do after this, then you're gonna see that the success rate kind of changes, hopefully. I believe with purple stones, which are gonna be kind of cheap, you can definitely get to plus 12, 13 on a purple item without any problems whatsoever. Also, keep in mind that these purple enchantment stones are gonna be sold in the cash shop, yeah, PvE and PvP. They are going to be very cheap in the cash shop to buy these stones. Why are they gonna be very cheap? Is because they are not hard to get in 6.0. So keep in mind when you're thinking now about keeping your serums, keeping your all powerfuls, or actually purchasing. Keeping is fine, since you already have them, keep them. What can you do with them, right? Don't waste them. But if you're planning now to buy all powerfuls and serums just for the chance of you exchanging them at the merchant I showed you a couple of videos ago to these kind of purple stones, then that's a very stupid idea, because these purple stones, and especially the yellow ones, but purple also, are gonna be very easy to get. At least they are very easy to get on the Korean live server and .pts of course as well, because it's exactly the same. Gameforge can again play with these drops. They can nerf the drop rate of these enchantment stones from dungeons, from quests, etc. So you have to keep in mind that normally these purple stones would be very easy to get. And even if you buy them from the cash shop, let's say you cannot get them anywhere else but the cash shop, they are like €1 in the cash shop per stone. And they have a lot higher success rate in 6.0 than they used to have in 5.x. So you think about it for a moment. Is it worth to purchase right now 70 million worth of a enchantment stone just so you can exchange it later on with this one that costs in the cash shop €1 and people are just gonna be able to sell them on the broker? Because if you deposit €100 in 6.0, you get 100 of these purple stones that I'm using right now, right? If you deposit €100 in 5.8 now, how many do you get? What? How many all powerfuls can you get? 20? So that's exactly my point. But we're not going to continue on. It seems like it doesn't want to go above plus 13. I believe it was. So yeah. Waste of money. Purple gear obviously costs less to enchant than red gear, but I'm just saying it is what it is. It's worth it to go to plus 15, but sometimes it just gets very hard if you keep pushing it. And that's about it, guys. I'm not gonna enchant a yellow item because they're crap. These stones are crap as well. And I guess that's all I wanted to talk about. Tell me what you think about these raids. I'm super satisfied with the raids. If they would come to Europe exactly as they are in the picture, exactly as they are in Korea, I'm saying again, Korea has such a beautiful version of 6.0, you cannot even imagine. I really hope that it comes the same in Europe, otherwise we're gonna have big problems with 6.0, and it's not gonna have the impact that it can potentially have, because it's a great patch. Enchanting to plus 15 max, people are kinda gonna be equal. Cheap enchantment stones for the wallet warriors that want to buy them and sell them to me on the broker. Thank you so much, wallet warriors. I'm gonna buy all of them because Kina is easy to make, and yeah, good chance for people to kinda be on the same level with gear and enchanting and everything else. As always guys, in the meantime, lots of love and see you in my next video.